One moment. We have a guest who wishes to say a few words. Greetings. Greetings. I am the primary facilitator for the Sasani homeworld. What you would recognize in your future as the replacement for what you now call government, which we do not have. We have only those that assist in the facilitation of the synchronicity that exists within the telepathic bond between all of our race. We are speaking with you this day in this way because of this gift that our world passes down to you, and in this way allows you to become more connected with us as you become more connected with yourselves. We extend to you, all of you, our deep appreciation at being willing to become part of our family, our extended family in this way. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our family. By this gift, you will find yourselves from time to time, quite literally. By this gift, you will find yourselves from place to place, quite literally. With this gift, you will find space and time more flexible, more malleable. You will find shifts in your perceptions and your perspectives that will line up more truly with your fundamental selves, your core being, the aspects of your creatorhood, and more flow with your synchronicity. In particular, pay attention to the glyph, the circuit that is the circuit called flow. For when you arrive in pondering the circuit called flow, you will be specifically accelerating the energy of all that flows to you and all that flows from you. And as you align with this flow, you will more readily receive, and you will more readily give that vibration that is translated in your reality as unconditional love. And as you are more willing to stand in the path, in the tunnel, in the conduit, in the pipeline of that flow, you will find yourselves becoming expanded in very specific ways that may allow you to catch glimpses of other realities that are concurrent with your own, that have relevance and meaning synchronistically for you, and may illuminate more readily, and may illuminate more clearly your particular choices for this life, and may assist you in remembering, recalling, reawakening the choices that you made for this physical reality, so as to more clearly illuminate the path you have chosen to be, and more clearly grant you understanding, true, fundamental understanding of why it is obvious to act upon your joy every moment that you have been granted existence and life. And allow your experience to be undifferentiated from what and who you are. For you are the experience you are having itself. You are the experience all that is having of itself. Have a grand experience with this gift. Once again, we welcome you to our family. We welcome you to our society, as you have welcomed us to yours. We salute you. We give you back your tutor. This is a time when you have arrived at a place where this being we call the primary facilitator thus then gives his 3 cents, and thus then acts as a demarcation that is another marker, another milestone on the path of contact, and allows you to know that you have expanded to the point to use this greeting from him as a barometer, to know that you have arrived at a point where you are now taking a step to another level, expanding to another level, to another accelerative level that will allow for more contact to begin to occur in a variety of ways. So do not be surprised, or if you wish to be surprised, go right ahead, by the fact that over the course of the remainder of what you call this orbit, this year, and into the beginning of your year you call 2011, that there may be far more reported activity of what you call spacecraft in your skies, and far more activity within you and yourselves and your memory and remembering that many of you, and in some ways all of you, have already had certain kinds of contact that you may simply not be remembering yet. But by this greeting as a demarcation, you will find that you may accelerate in your dreams or even in your physical waking state to begin to remember encounters you have already had on other levels and even on your level. And it is the pace at which you remember that contact has already occurred in certain ways that we use as a barometer to gauge. The rate at which you remember the contacts that have already occurred is the barometer we use to gauge when your society is ready for more. For remember, after your year of 2012, the quarantine will be off. And the idea of contact and the rate at which it occurs will no longer be based on the idea of our hands-off policy. It will totally be based on the rate at which you yourselves deem you are ready for open contact by your actions, by the things you do in your world, by the changes you create within yourself and the responses that occur within yourself to whatever is going on your planet. From that point forward, and what you call that particular demarcation point, the end of the old cycle, the beginning of the new, on your December 21st, 2012, will be the final date wherein we are prevented by our own reckonings from interacting with you. It will solely be in your hands as to determine when your world is willing to open up more and more for further relationship with all of us and others. So, we give you this tool, this day, as a particular special present to mark this birth and new birth and rebirth of yourselves as new people in a new reality with a different history and a completely different future that you are creating from a completely different present. So congratulations. Thank you for applauding yourselves. At this timing, we may begin with explorations, questions, and discussions that are pertinent and germane to the ideas we have expounded upon herein.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Happy Father's Day.
We thank you.
I really feel...
Thank you, children.
I really feel your fatherly, paternal energy around me so often, and I wanted to share with you the joy I'm feeling in my life. I know we've been together since the beginning, and this is a real roller coaster, and I'm so delighted with this gift that you've given us today.
You are so lighted.
Thank you.
Not delighted, lighted.
I am extremely lighted, and thank you for pointing that out. And I'm just living my excitement, and Create Now is exploding and going global, and just amazing things happening.
Thank you.
And at the same time, I'm still sweating out paying my rent and dealing with that.
That is all right. Again, the understanding as we have expressed it is that as you act upon your highest joy, you are thus by your highest vibration always first and foremost given the opportunity to explore any beliefs that you may be holding on to that are out of alignment with your truth. Thus, then, this is a sparkling opportunity to understand how to truly respond differently to what is going on apparently outside of you, not that it really is outside of you, but to respond differently to it even if it looks the same as it did before, which is the mark of true change, not that the outside changes.
Exactly. I feel like instead of having the fear of not being supported, I keep hearing what you say about what you have, what you need when you need it. And
yes.
I feel extremely abundant right now and excited. And I feel like I'm at the top of the roller coaster and it's at the highest peak ever.
Yes.
And it's like jumping off a cliff.
Yes.
But I feel secure and supported, and that's the difference.
Thank you for allowing yourself to truly change and respond differently to the exterior illusion.
Well, I have two questions about this handout that you gave us.
Oh, all right.
I feel that I'm going to definitely do this 3-day thing, but when I start to focus on the end, I feel like I'm at the point of manifestation.
Yes.
So can I focus on that card more than the others, or do you recommend...
For the first 3 days, we would suggest you do it in the way we have suggested. Thereafter, it is your game.
Okay, so I could focus on the higher...
There is a purpose to doing it the way that we have suggested for the first 3 days.
I understand. The other question I had is that I noticed that the glyphs at the end include the triangle for the last 2.
Yes.
And that's also the shape of the Esasani craft and other craft like the Phoenix Lights.
Yes, it is.
So is that a synchronicity? Thank you. Thank you again, Bashar, for everything.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you for being here. My son is 25, and over the past year, he has had 2 psychotic, or what they call bipolar or schizoaffective episodes.
This particular handout can actually be of assistance to those kinds of conditions. If the being is capable and willing of performing the exercise as we have outlined it, you may actually find they are capable of rewiring their brains and rearranging the chemical constituents of their bodies in such a manner and to such an effect that it may bring balance back to that individual. It may take some degree of time, perhaps what you would call anywhere from 30 to 90 of your days, but it can be done if the individual is consistent in the utilization every day, 15 minutes every day, of this particular tool. This is a profoundly deep and powerful an effective tool for anything that has to do with the wiring of the neurological circuits of the brain.
Thank you, Bashar. Is this the best way for me to help him also?
It is one way.
Okay.
We will leave it up to your imagination to create a dialogue between your higher mind and your physical mind to determine other ways that may also work. Also, you can find that for this kind of condition that you call bipolar, and also for the condition physiologically that you call epilepsy, the idea of allowing the person to be in a meditative state while having them follow your finger in the infinity symbol can actually also be, for 15 minutes, something that will cause great reparation and healing. Allowing their eyes to follow this allows you to utilize and balance both hemispheres of the brain and allow them to come together through the center point, the corpus callosum, which in that sense is the prime receiver and the prime organizer of all information that is then dispensed and dispersed through and throughout the antenna and receiver of the brain. Do you follow?
Yes.
And as you do this, and as you form a stronger link between physical and higher mind, you will then be creating more capability of receiving inspirations to also aid and assist yourself and your child.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
You were talking about remembering contact and opening to more contact.
Yes.
Yesterday morning, I had a dream. I was sitting at a coffee shop. Been there a long time. Felt hands on my thing. I thought it was on my shoulders. I thought it was the waitress telling me to move along. Looked around. Nothing was there.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden, they grabbed me and started lifting me.
Yes.
I didn't know who it was or what they wanted, but is it a memory or is it like a test to see if I'm more ready? Or
It is more the idea of spirit guide assisting you in realizing that you have the propensity and capacity to more solidly and concretely feel the upliftment of energy. And that can translate in that way as a feeling that you are rising. Do you understand?
Yes, wow.
It is to some degree connected with some of your contacts, but that particular facilitation was handled by a spirit guide.
It didn't have anything to do with SIBO.
Oh, it has something to do with SIBO, but that particular facilitation was coordinated and handled by your spirit guide.
And can you tell me what SIBO's part was?
The idea of allowing you to get in touch with that aspect of yourself that connects to his particular energy, to add it to the mix, so that in combination, all those energies, when they are holistically experienced, will give you that feeling of lightening up, of levitation. Do you understand?
Yes. Is there some reason it was scary in that case?
Because, as we have already said, anytime you get in touch with that pure energy that represents your highest vibration, the first and foremost thing it does is point out what doesn't belong in that energy. Remember, as the analogy we have given before, a long time ago in your technology, you had internal combustion engines that were very, very simple, what you call very, very crude mechanically. And in that sense, they could chug along and chug along and chug along, even if they were filthy. But now in your modern high-tech era, you have high-speed engines that are machined with high-tolerance precision, and thus then the smallest speck of dirt will freeze the entire operation until you clear it out. So too, the idea of refining your vibration. As you refine your vibration, the idea of what doesn't align with your true vibration will stand out in a much more magnified way, even if it is the smallest deviation from your truth, will now seem to be a huge deviation because it is so magnified by being compared to everything else that is operating so much more smoothly. So dealing with that, integrating it, and allowing that energy to be transformed back into part of the smooth operation is the point of being shown the things that are out of phase with your truly preferred vibration. Make sense?
Yes.
SIBO says, hi.
Hi, Cybo.
And, of course, Cybo being in our ancient language the number 4, 13, you can know that his symbol specifically is associated with that symbol of transformation, number 13.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is actually the 3rd triangular symbol.
Very good. The other contact I had this week, other times I've interacted with the kids. I've just seen forms or just knew they were there, but this week I actually saw a face.
Yes, all right. Well, again, as we have said, as you expand and increase your ability to see deeper into other realities, they will actually become more visible, more concrete to you. So this is an indication that your senses are beginning to penetrate beyond the veil of what was heretofore invisible to you, and you're starting to see more flickers of the parallel reality stream, and thus more capable of actually having your senses extend into those other realities sufficiently to allow them to appear more solid to your senses.
Can you tell me which child it was?
No, I cannot.
Okay. Maybe you can't tell me this either. I got a big download from either the 17-year-old or the 15-year-old of these really beautiful, several pieces of incredible artwork.
Oh, all right. And what will you do with that download?
Make my own. They won't be as beautiful, but can you tell me which of the two it was?
Why?
Because I'm writing a script, and
oh, I see.
I would like to know.
And you need detail.
Yes.
Well, why not ask them?
Okay.
Do the technique, open your conduit, and use it to facilitate stronger communication with whomever you wish to communicate.
Okay.
That's the point.
Right.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bashar, good day.
Good day to you.
Thank you so much for letting me assist in the events lately.
Well, I didn't let you.
I let me.
Yes.
Enjoying it very much.
Thank you.
So remembering, recalling, rebirthing, would regeneration then, of course, be a part of this process?
Yes. Although, again, remember that when we say re to any of these things, it is simply a euphemism that we are using of your language to instill a certain thought. But everything is actually new the first time, in a sense. So it is just in that sense a birthing, a generation, a membering.
Yes.
Because every moment you are really a new person.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for that information.
Yes. For that reminder.
That reminder, right. Two things, well, a few things.
Yes.
In terms of muscle atrophy, say, and hormonal rebalancing.
Yes.
Would any of these sacred circuits be more?
Yes.
And
you will find out which one they are when you go through the process as we have described it.
Okay.
We have given you, even though it's only 15 of the many, many circuits that exist, we've given you a sufficient enough kit that you will find it will generally be sufficient for many of the things that you wish to apply this idea to in your lives. Find out, after you do the 3 days in the order in which we have already instructed, find out which other ones you gravitate towards, and it will reveal itself to you as to which is appropriate for the various applications to which you may wish to apply this technique.
Wonderful.
You must really, all of you, begin to learn, to understand you are truly forming a relationship with a sentient tool. It is sentient. It's aware. It's an autonomous being. It will actually begin to talk to you. You must understand these symbols as beings. This is, in a sense, again, we understand, and please understand, this is, again, a symbol, a euphemism, a colloquialism. If you wish to put it this way, these structures are like the skeletal neurological forms, the skeletal neurological x-rays of nature spirits. Commune with them. They will commune with you. They are archetypal aspects, archetypal attributes of your collective consciousness. You can actually create dialogue with them. That's why we used your word relationship. You are really forming a relationship with actual sentience, with autonomous little beings. Cherish them, love them, work with them, play with them. They will teach you. They will talk with you. They will tell you what you need to know. For they will know what it is you need to know because they are patterned along the lines of your neurological circuitry. They will be able to link, synchronize with your circuitry and know what it is you need to know. So let them be your crystal balls. All right?
Yes, I like that. Thank you.
Yes.
In terms of, say, someone who has Asperger's, my ex-boyfriend's son has Asperger's. And
Yes.
Is there, say, in dealing with the sacred circuits, if you begin to embody them,
Yes.
as you stand in front of another,
Yes.
embodying that particular circuit,
Yes.
can you transmit?
It can be done that way for those of you who find yourself in a position where that is truly representative of your highest, most exciting, creative way of expressing these things. For others, it may simply be simpler to allow the other to see the circuits themselves. You will have to determine for yourself which it is for you.
For this particular boy who's so extraordinary, is there any way that I could assist him further?
You will use your imagination in this, yes?
Yes.
Well, then, there you go.
Okay.
Again, please understand, as you partake of this exercise, it will open up a dialogue between not only you and these autonomous beings, but between your physical mind and your higher mind to such a greater degree of communication that these things will answer themselves when you just put your mind to it. As you gain facility with this technique, you will find that you will access the information you need very rapidly. When you simply ask the question, the answer will be there. All right?
Wonderful.
So part of the reason we are giving this to you is so that you can answer your own questions with this tool, with this permission slip.
Okay.
All right?
May I ask one more?
I don't know. Can you?
Yes.
All right.
Bashar, now that I am this new, spanking new person,
Yes, sir.
I was wanting to avail myself of you being in front of me to ask if there was any assistance that I could personally have on my path as a creative and spiritual.
You are always, all of you are always being flowed assistance. It isn't about asking for assistance. It is always being given. It's about whether you are capable of perceiving the assistance you're already getting. So open up to the fact, number one, that you're already being given assistance, and you do not have to ask for it or invite it. It's already being given freely and unconditionally to you. All you need to do is tap into the flow of what's already coming and become more aware of it. And such ideas as the permission slip we have shared with you today is one of the forms of assistance that we recognize you can use.
Okay.
So we have shared what is already appropriate in this regard for this moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Well, I have a couple of questions.
All right, speak up and be bold so that all may hear you.
Okay, question number one. So he gave us 15 symbols.
Yes.
We said that there are many, many more.
There are.
Is there any way for us to access those other symbols?
My goodness. Sufficient unto the day is the knowledge thereof. What is your hurry?
Well,
do you think if we thought it was important at this time for you to have them, we would have withheld them?
Oh, no, not by any means.
All right. Then use what you've already been given and gain facilitation with them before you will be ready for more.
Okay.
The first 15 will help you get ready for the rest, because the next series is an order of magnitude greater in terms of the effect it will create in your neurological rewiring. You're not ready for that yet. Giving you even the 16th symbol would actually cause the idea of burnout. You follow?
Yeah.
This is done in stages for a reason, because we have simply taken a reading of the collective consciousness and gauged what the collective consciousness is now willing to absorb in a manner that befits what is best for all concerned. If, however, you find that you do the technique in the way that we have suggested, and you find yourself gaining facility with it, you may find that if and when you are truly ready for the next set of symbols, again, you may find yourself capable of downloading them on your own, which is part of the point. Make sense?
Yes.
All right.
Well, another question. So there are a whole bunch of other symbols out there.
Speak up.
There are a whole bunch of other symbols out there.
Out there. No, they're all right here. It's just that right now, your collective reality says it is willing to allow these 15 to be visible.
Okay. Are there some that relate to us personally? Like, do we have our own personal symbols?
Yes. And most of them will be expressed as a combination of some of the symbols we have given you. Learning how to connect them to form your own sigil, your own emblem, your own badge is also part of the process, part of the fun. So play with them, mix and match after you've done the first 3 days in the order in which they come. Start to play with them. As we said, let your imagination be your guide.
Okay.
All right?
I have time for one more question.
Well, that was a question, so I guess you did.
Okay. Another one.
Oh, all right.
When you talk about finding or following your highest excitement, is there a way to better to have yourself be more sensitive to what your highest excitement is? Basically, what I find is that I find it hard to tune myself to which option is the most exciting.
If you have made a true assessment that two options seem to have equal excitement, it is very rare that both options would actually have equal capability of you taking action on them to the same degree. Take action on the one you can take the furthest.
Oh.
All right?
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.